It's Seth. The last time I did an update, I was talking about how I had jury duty for 2 weeks and about my first day of jury duty and how I had to correct the judge about my pronouns, how I was passing all the time. And, so I called back the next day to see if I could go to jury duty, and they didn't need me, and they didn't need me for the next 2 weeks. So the last 2 weeks, I've just been kind of like taking a vacation and spending it with Amy. Didn't go to work. We've just been hanging out a lot here in town. It has been really freeing. We've gone to a lot of garage sales and just done just random things. And there's people just seeing me as male wherever I go. And that's been nice. And being treated as like a straight couple too. That's been pretty cool. And it's been really freeing. And then I go back to work and have to deal with that atmosphere of the clients still not grasping who I am, hearing my birth name, having to correct them, which I don't mind having to correct them in the birth name, but it's like I'm wondering if they're even capable of understanding what transgender is. And I work with mentally ill clients, and a lot of their minds are just not even there. There's one client, and she's like really religious, and I really worried what she would think of me. But as I was changing, she just started calling me sir, which is kind of strange. And the clients, there's not like they go around talking about like me. It's not like the kind of place where like me being transgender is like this really good juicy gossip. Let's go talk about it. Their minds are just not there. They're just so overwhelmed with taking care of themselves to even to go gossip about a staff member. Unless, typically, if they do gossip about a staff member, it's because the staff member is like being mean to them or something, or they're being delusional or whatever. But I just don't think that they're gossiping. So I don't think that this client knew because somebody else told her, especially that she's religious. I don't know, it's almost like she was so out of it that she was just more so picking up on my energy, and then she started calling me. She said, sir. Last night she referred to me as sir. I don't even know if she's thinking that I'm a different staff member, or if she didn't. It's been my client for three years. Anyways, that's kind of an interesting thing, how people can pick up on energy of who we are genderly, and how sometimes people get so stuck in their mind of who you are and who you're always going to be. And that's what's frustrating me right now, is people like that, particularly this one client. And this one client just so happens to remind me of my mom. Yeah, she's religious. And after having a vacation where I felt free to be myself and feel validated, she has to go and remind me that I will always be Stephanie. No matter the facial hair, she will never see me like that. That I'm a woman. And then she started preaching, and then my mind shut off right there. And I told her, are you trying to deliberately get on my bad side? Well, I'm entitled to my own opinion. I said, well, you can keep that opinion to yourself. um, it feels good to get away from my mom, and how many of people that have the same mindset of my mom are like around in society. And the mentally ill, they're stigmatized too, just like trans people are. You know, which is part of the reason why I like the population. Is I like working with people that who don't have a voice. I can be a voice for them. How do I allow this to not like affect me so that I can still, I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just really bothers me. I know they're a client and it shouldn't matter. I want that right to be seen as a guy. um, and I want to be able be able to express that need and for it to feel like legitimate. Um, and I know that they have their own beliefs and they have their own issues, and I can't go to work expecting validation. Man, I want to be seen like as a guy. um, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I knew that this was going to be some hard stuff. I even had this thought before I come out. It was like, oh, I know this is going to be easy in the beginning, but there's going to be parts that are going to be really hard. And I think the clients are kind of starting to like realize what transgender is, because I'm starting to change. Break it down in the most simplest form, like, and they ask why, as I'm transgender. Well, what's that? Well, I'm like, I've been born a female, but I feel like a guy on the inside. And then there's that awkward moment. Where they just don't get it. And I'm like, well, just use male pronouns, okay? You treat me like a guy. And then they look at me like, who's the crazy one? Or maybe that look is, am I being delusional here? And then they start realizing I'm for real, and then they don't know what to think. I don't feel like I can really, there's anybody I can really go to like for advice on this. And it's not like I can actually get like easy advice. The only advice that really seems to comfort me is like if I just weigh it out, some of the clients will like either move on to higher living or they'll end up going to like Western State, um, which I hope they move on to higher living. That's their goal. Me and my boss even talked about how hard it's going to be. Just to assume like definitely the first year is going to be tough. It's like, and there, some of these people in their mind, there's no space for transgender. And I can definitely see why people want to go stealth. Because they want to be, they need to be in an environment where they're like... And definitely understanding this cisgender privilege. People that are born into the sex that they are assigned to, and then they identify with that sex. They get this privilege of being able to say, hey, I'm a guy, and then nobody questions them. Nobody, they don't have to go get their birth certificate changed. They don't have to go through, gender reassignment surgery, and they don't have to go to therapy and be diagnosed, or they don't have to come out to people, and they don't have to correct pronouns, and it's really unfair. Um, I wish we lived in a society that didn't put privilege or even assign such gender to birth, at birth. It really just block us in with with that.